All right, welcome back to Trailer Park Samurai live drawing. In the room, we've got Seth and Kevin. Since I was out last time, I'm just going to say that I am here. And we also have with us Anna.
Hi.
And Heather.
Hello.
Who are going to be joining us for this episode, or this page. But it's more than just a page, because we're going back since I wasn't here on Friday, right?
Yeah. So I think to start, Seth, we drew this page and we kind of had an offline conversation. I think you already had some critiques about this page.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go back through them and we'll go
I had
from there.
a note on the first panel that I felt like it
You wanted
Craig was a little bit too much of the focus of that, like as far as like you can see him. I'd like to see him like on the side. I think I had seen it as more of like a down the hallway kind of thing as opposed to, because you kind of get more detail going back.
Yeah, okay, so you want more, like in this case, like Jim's more the focus, even more possibly over the shoulder. And then really the perspective is more like down this way and Craig's like here kind of thing, or...
I'd kind of like Jim sort of center frame with the
with both aisles?
It running down, going down the sides. And then Craig's maybe foreground, but like more kind of shadowed, that you kind of see someone at that table, so it's not a completely jarring thing when he calls out to him.
All right, I'll just quickly scratch that over. But yeah, cool. I'll get that drawn real quick, and then if you want to kick off.
So the things that we need to talk about while Kevin is working, and he will chime in as well, is that in August, beginning of August, we will be going to the Bell County Comic-Con, which is our first big show. I think last year they had something like 23,000 people attend.
Wow, okay.
So I was kind of shocked, one, that we were able to get a table. We got an Artist Alley table. It's cheaper than other shows that we've done, considering we've only done one other show. I was kind of surprised by that. But we have no idea what to expect from a show that large. So one, we have no idea how many books to order, because I don't want to run out, but I also don't want to be stuck with books, even though we have another show in October, Staple, to finish up with. But a lot of the people that attend Staple already kind of have those first 3 books, maybe. So I don't want to be stuck with books. The other thing is that like it's 2 buildings, so they have like the convention center, which is one thing, and I think we're in another building off of it. So like with so many vendors, I don't think our current booth setup, which is just sort of black tablecloth and stuff on the table, will be enough to attract attention and eyes. So what I had proposed to Kevin last night was that we either needed a table sign or like a pop-up banner to go with it. Now they do give you like a blue backdrop or something like that you could hang something on too. So I figured if we did get a table sign, maybe we didn't even put it on the table, but we could put it on the backdrop.
That's what I've seen at conventions, especially larger ones. Because having something down like at the bottom of the table, you don't see it. But if you put it on the top backdrop and have something interesting on it, that catches more attention than just having your books on the table. That's what has drawn me into tables at cons before. Because
I feel like when you get to that size, people just kind of walking around will account for some of your traffic, but like people can't see it all.
Yes.
Because they've got like all of the signings they want to go to or panels or whatever, and I feel like the time on the floor is probably limited.
Yeah, and then if you know that someone that you want to see is there in the vendor hall, it's a pain in the butt to find them if there isn't proper signage. Even if you have like
a map or
even if you have a map, it's still okay. Well, am I going north or south? And it's just easier if you have better signage and more things at the booth to draw an eye.
Thankfully, no one's going specifically for us.
that we know of.
Hey, you never know.
We just got a jazz
we'll put the call out.
hands.
We'll see if people show up specifically for us. But
real quick, are you kind of more like this? Is what you had in mind? Okay, cool.
You could even like flip that and put him deeper in the frame. Like put Jim deeper in the frame.
Oh, looking up the aisle.
Yeah. You could go either way. I mean, I think that looks good, and that's definitely the perspective. But I think you could go either way with it.
Yeah, I do like I do like that he'd be looking sort of at us, and I like that idea down the panel. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I like adding the detail in for sure. And I like the sharpness of Craig on the side. Like, with all the noise going on, you still have him kind of also being a center of focus. I will say, though, I would say if Jim is in the back looking out of the panel, would Craig then be looking back at Jim? And so you'd lose...
You mean turn to the right a little bit more?
Or would he also be looking out at us the way that he is currently?
I think. I mean, definitely, I changed where the eyes look to whatever makes sense. I know in this first shot, he's kind of heads down, reading a panel.
Yeah.
So like he doesn't see him yet, but like Jim's gonna see Craig, and so really.
Because really, in reality, like Jim's probably going specifically there.
What are the chances of Easter egging it such that Craig is reading Trailer Park Simulator? Thoughts?
Love it.
We could probably have him reading one of our friends' comics.
I think the world explodes if that happens. Right?
We could have him reading.
Pops into real life.
Yeah.
We should have him reading like Waking Life from Ben's comic or
Chimera.
Tyler's. Yeah, Chimera.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely should put those on display. That'd be pretty badass call out. Cool. Yeah. And then real quick, jumping into this one, how'd you feel about second panel?
Second panel I was good with.
Cool.
Third panel I was good with. The fourth one, I know I listened to the episode and was like keeping it, but I kind of like, I'm trying to think, the I think I had mentioned that I wanted a reverse shot for there, but I don't think it's Jim's line there, right? Like it's Craig's line, so that makes sense to keep it at that shot. I thought if it was Jim's line, having to show like Jim's reaction to what was being said made more sense. But I think since it's Craig's line,
yeah,
it's fine.
I'm cool too. I mean, I like the idea of the same camera angle and showing the movement of like a dap to the dap to the getting the comment.
But I think this next, when we get onto page 6, the first panel is Jim reacting to what Craig said in that last panel of 5.
Cool.
So I think that makes sense to be more of a being able to see Jim's face.
Cool. Yeah, I guess we can call it for this page then.
Yep.
Dope.
How's that read to y'all as outsiders looking in? We need to catch you up too, Heather, on issues we've had or pages we've had.
I know you just misspoke and said dab instead of dap, but thoughts on dabbing instead?
They both dab.
Yeah, because they meet each other. Yeah.
All right. No, dabbing wouldn't exist.
Please don't write that note. That was a joke. Please don't.
They would really need to be doing like the.
That really cements the time period. I think. Until last week.
Jim pulls out a cell phone. What?
We could do a whole page dedicated to the Kid and Play dance, where it's like foot tap, spin. Yeah.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, I do too.
It's probably a good chance too, like just to go through, as for people joining, hopefully our editing quality is getting better, so you don't have to watch the 2-hour first episode. So we open with this open sketch of Sunny Day Jim with Grandpa, crackers. We've gone back and forth on this panel a lot. It's quite heavy, but we think it works well, and you kind of get the little play between crackers and Jim. Jim hitting his head, then a lot of dialogue between Grandpa, Jim's mom, Twyla, and then going into Jim basically tired of this nonsense. I think we decided I need to redraw this, that we're going to redo that final panel to something that kind of makes more sense for the angles of the house and where the bike is.
Where the bike is situated in the front yard.
So, and then we kind of have him riding along. We get a little bit of sense of the town, or that sort of feeling of a kid riding a bike along a dangerous highway. I like that idea of that feeling. I don't know. Reminds me of home. And then then we get to open up to the sort of reveal of different. There's 2 characters we'll be touching on as we go through the flea market. Craig and Craig's the cool one. We like Craig.
Yeah.
Dwayne is questionable.
Sleazy.
All right, so how many? Then we're kicking off a new page.
So it says listed as 6 panels.
Okay.
And it's really back and forth between Craig for half of the page, and then he's sort of back into reveling in the flea market for the other half of the page.
Okay. And so what do we got here? What was in your mind, the loose layout of these panels? And I'll sort of just get something.
I feel like this one is kind of a two-shot because we kind of have some dialogue going back and forth between Jim and Craig. So I think really capturing Jim's disgust at what Craig just mentioned, which is a American remake of Lone Wolf and Cub. Jim is that's not even funny to him. And Craig's like, I'm not joking, man. And then Jim just kind of puts it aside and wants to know if there's any news about his favorite series, which is the Blood series, which he has a poster of Blood 2 up on his wall at home. So I just wanted to know about Blood 3.
Electric Bloodaloo. You can have that.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Was panel 1 full length in your mind, or I just want to box these out quick?
Yeah.
Get a sense of what you thought the importance, or what was the most important panel to you? 2 and 3. So if you want to read out panel 1.
Yeah. 2. Jim looks disgusted and non-believing. Craig crosses his arms with a smirk on his face. Jim, that's not even funny, Craig. Craig, I wish I was joking with you. Jim, I think I'm going to be sick. Any news on Blood 3? Craig picks back up his manga. Craig, comes out in Japan next month, so I expect we'll have it in a few weeks after that. Panel 3, Jim rubs his hands together in glee. Oh man, I can't wait. I hope Takashi comes back and... Craig, forgot to tell you, Turkey Leg Lady is back. And then we cut to Jim happily walking down another aisle of merchants chomping on a turkey leg. You got tools on a table to his right, and over his left are several airbrushed t-shirts of knockoff characters. And near the shirts is a spinning rack full of luchador masks. Panel 5 is a close-up on Jim's eyes as they dart in the direction of the masks. And panel 6 is then Jim continuing to walk past other vendors, but you can't really make them out anymore. They're just kind of noise in the background, and he's eating his turkey leg while wearing a mask.
So 6 could be a long and narrow shot, a wide panel. Yeah. It doesn't need to be that tall because we could get more detail on
you don't even need the detail at that point. He's got what he wants and needs at that point. Everything else in the background is just noise. It's just that he's still there, really.
Are we talking luchador mask halfway up the face while he's
So there's actually on the script there is a link that shows the one, and it has a bit of a cutout here.
Okay.
For the mouth.
Keep it on the
because otherwise it's disgusting. Even with the cutout, it's probably going to still be gross.
Yeah. He is a young boy, so
he didn't think it through.
They're disgusting.
Mm-hmm. He was like, well, I still got the turkey leg, and I'm not going to not wear the luchador mask.
Taking this off.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like there needs to be, panel 3 has Jim rubbing his hands together in glee. Oh man, I can't wait. Forgot to tell you, panel 4 is suddenly, he's now walking down the aisle, or...
Yeah.
So I almost feel like there needs to be a narrow, there needs to be a panel between that of Jim starting to sort of walk off. And
I think it's sort of it's a smash cut.
Or that's what panel 3 kind of already is. It's...
Well, no, because Jim's isn't going anywhere. He wants to talk Blood 3, but then Craig drops that turkey leg lady's back, and then smash cut to him with the turkey leg.
Oh, okay.
That, and that ends the conversation for him. And he's like, "All right, turkey leg, I'm out." So I think I think the issue there is that he's happy, but you kind of need a stop talking panel. I think that's what you mean. You need a beat there, right? Where he realizes that, and he's like,
he just
shit.
runs off.
Or even
it's just him talking, and it's the same shot with him just eyes wide, and then it smash cuts to him eating one.
I'm not sure how to do a smash cut on a comic panel where it's not.
The panel itself does it. So I think you either play that where it's the same shot and you have him talking and you get the off-panel line, and then you cut to him just staring at him, and then the next panel it's advanced to it. We can try that. Otherwise, you could use that panel where he's staring to change it to movement. There's a cloud where he used to be and he's no longer there. And you can do a real cartoon thing where he's either all the way partly out of the panel, Or like there's a cloud of smoke where he once stood.
While you were saying all that, I completely lost the script location.
Oh.
If you could help with that.
Can I ask a question about printing?
Yeah.
If you wanted to do one of those panels in the shape of a turkey leg, like if you had square panels and then your fourth one you wanted to have it in the cutout of a turkey leg, like is that doable to get that printed, or is there some sort of intricacies around getting the squares printed for a comic?
Well, they're just going to print a page.
Okay.
They'll print as long as it's in the outline of the page.
They'll just print whatever.
They'll do whatever you give them.
Yeah, so you decide where you want like white space, where you want
If you wanted the whole book in the shape of a turkey leg, that's probably going to cost you.
Unrelated, how do we feel about panel 4 being a turkey leg?
The panel where he's running out
is
turkey
also a
leg
turkey
shape.
leg.
Yes. Sounds
That
great.
really conveys
Groundbreaking.
it. That actually does convey it really well. Because that shows what's on his mind,
Right?
as well as changes
It conveys
changes
so
up the
many
panel shape. It really does.
I feel like what we should do here is panel 1, Jim not funny. Panel 2, I want to give more room to, like, if we had to kind of do these smash cuts and like establishing a new location, I don't know, to me, like, then I would then panel 3 is cut back to Craig saying his line, and then on the same just continue that sort of beat, and then it's down. It's sort of back to Jim heads down. He's now picked up another manga, and he's saying his panel 2 line, or this is Jim asking, I think I'm going to be sick. Any news? I think it's just splitting this conversation 3 panels, which I guess you said. And then, but panel 2, he could have already been picking that up while he's sort of asking that question.
Wait, but Jim's not reading that. Craig is. Craig picks it back
Oh,
up.
shit. Okay.
Like, I think you can just do, this one could be like 2/3 of it, and then the panel 2 could just be a single shot at Craig.
Yeah.
And then that 3, like, I think we'll probably, I think you could insert a panel there between 3 and 4 to make that transition a little cleaner.
Yeah.
But then like 5 is almost an insert panel if we're gonna do the eyes at all. Like, I feel like you might be able to convey that just in 4. I don't even know if you would need it. It kind of feels like similar to the cop, or his eyes for the cop one in 2.
Yeah. I guess then I feel like panel 1. Okay, panel 1 and 2, I get you. All right, I'll draw some of these out real quick and try to get something if you want to.
So, what thoughts do you have about the table and the setup?
I very much agree with Heather on the base part of it. I also think, having been to the Staple Comic Show for y'all before, y'all were situated such that I don't think it was really a problem for y'all, but there were other booths that had lines at certain times during the day, and booths on either side, it was like they don't exist until that line clears. But if you've got signage up high, some of that is not as much a problem. I also thought y'all did a good job with kind of playing up. I mean, I think the comic is playful, and like you had the trash bag helmet and said, take photos, put them on Instagram. Like, I thought that was a cool idea and got people, even those who hadn't ever heard of the comic and maybe didn't buy it, which I know that's not necessarily ideal, but they would come in and they would take a photo and at least like, oh, what do you have? And
I feel like the trash can all weekend we were setting it up because people would kick it over when they came to look at the table. And then we also learned that originally our table setup, we put our prop sword, which looked relatively real, right on the edge of the table. people did not want to reach over that sword to look at those books.
Oh, interesting.
So like we moved it to the back of the table and put the books in the front, and then we got a lot more people that were like approaching the table.
Yeah. I also think stickers are just such a win.
Yeah.
It is a little wacky to me how excited people get about stickers, and like Derp Dad Deer last year was awesome.
That was definitely our number one selling sticker.
It was awesome.
That show.
And I don't know if we could like cracker it up this year and have little baby cracker, mom cracker situation as a sticker or something. Like people love cute, silly animals.
Yeah.
Well, even to draw people to the booth or attention to something, it's a marketing thing. It's not like selling a thing. Well, I've been to conventions where I was marketing another podcast, and we handed out stickers, like in a here, listen to what, because it's really easy. People want stickers, like you said, so you can walk up to almost anyone at a con and be like, "Hey, want a sticker?" And then have your information or your booth number, or, just a link to your website on it, because people love stickers.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. And you could maybe. I wonder if you could. Will there be maps for this?
There should be. I have no idea what to expect.
I don't know if you could like put a sticker on a map somehow, such that you're like, we're here, and also here's a free sticker.
I think the stickers, in that regard, are more to draw people to just the thing existing and a website to go to, or a YouTube channel, or you check it out on Amazon.
You can always write that on the back too.
Yeah.
Or have like website, booth number.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah. Because I've also handed out like business cards for people.
We usually have those on the table too, and occasionally people will take it. It's always weird to me where it's kind of like, they look over the table and then like, I'll be back.
Anything that's free.
And I'm like, all right.
Anything that isn't
me every time.
I know.
That isn't nailed down and free, like people will take.
Yeah.
As a person that does that.
The other thing we had last time at Staple was a stuffed raccoon.
Yes.
That was holding a little can, and we sold that thing before the end of the show.
Nice.
Someone was like, because I had like these shoes that I had gotten made that were hand painted, like van type shoes that had like our art on it. And they were a big draw. Like people saw them and were like, "Whoa, what are those?" And we'd get people to the table and we could pitch them at that point. But like the raccoon, this dude came up and was like, "How much for the raccoon?" And we were like, and I think Kevin was like 20. And I'm like looking at my Amazon, like, "How much did I pay for that raccoon?" Yeah, we made a profit on that. And we're kind of like, should we get a couple of those? Just store them under the table.
Are you allowed via like conference rules? Could you do? Kind of going back to like giving out something that says here's our booth and here come talk to us, could you do like a giveaway draw like a couple of times a day, be here at 2, and if you enter your name or whatever you get a free something, and it could be a bundle of the comics or a raccoon or
I mean as far as I know we definitely could.
Okay.
I think
I just don't know if people are there long enough other than the people who are already selling comics.
That's the other thing. It's like I feel like everybody has their own schedule. So like enforcing a schedule on them is another thing entirely. And also getting people to part with information. If you're like asking for an email address or whatever is ridiculously difficult.
Yeah. Plus it screws up like the line, like you said, so it can mess up people being at your booth and people being at the booths next to you.
Just the flow.
Yeah. Because you're having people stop for 5 minutes at least to fill something out.
Yeah. That's the one thing we learned last year. I think that we made the specific call for Staple this year that we got a full table, because there were just times where like if people would come to visit or buy the book, if they're standing in front of the table, you could see people that are like, but like, I can't fit in there, so I'm just going to keep moving. Yep. And in their mind, they're like, I'll come back, but you're not going to come back.
Yeah.
So, like, for this one and for Staple this year, we got a full-size table to kind of cut down on that, so we could have a bit more space in front.
So going back to the panel, I mean, I feel like I got maybe the end shot. I like the sort of end shot. I just feel like there's still a lot to, like, I would almost have put this across 2 pages to have, like, a cut, and then he's some, I don't know. Like,
I don't feel like it's a big enough reveal to warrant moving on to another page. Like the fact that he got a turkey leg is not a big enough reveal. Like I get the idea of like the payoff of it.
What if
funny,
to me
but...
too? Like we're trying to say like he's excited about the turkey leg and the luchador mask and all. What if that was just like one lady? What if the luchador turkey leg lady was back and you get to the booth?
Cuts to him in the luchador mask with the turkey leg.
Yeah. Like to me, that's just like because like you just see that line and you're like, that's weird, and you just get to cut to him like off, and you get like Craig in the background.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Oh, I kind of like that.
I like it.
I like
Yeah.
the idea of dropping the line in the luchador turkey leg lady.
And you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like nice banner above the booth.
yeah. Like
you have the spinner rack in front of it.
Heck yeah.
Big line in front.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I think too, if we wanted, we could even separate it with like a wide shot and like his eyes big, or like you get like his spark of joy, and then
with every luchador mask purchase, you get a free turkey leg.
And vice versa.
Yes.
that's her business.
I'm down with that. That sounds really cool.
It just adds to the weirdness of
She's got like a
flea
palace in the
market.
flea market. It's the most popular stall.
She only comes in when she wants to.
Yes.
It's an occasion when she shows up. Nobody else has cracked this formula.
When they're gone, they're gone.
so then
We only make so many per day.
So we actually then get like quite a bit more room. I could even sort of dedicate almost a half panel to just this funny reveal, but then it's like the placement of like where could we put her and the assortment of turkey and luchador, but also sort of show Craig, maybe back a few booths. Like I think we could give him this whole panel.
I don't even know if you need to see him necessarily.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just a different part. Like I think the if you don't see him, I feel like it makes the flea market feel larger.
Yeah.
Like if you were to see him, you're like, okay, so it was 2 feet away from him,
Yeah.
and he didn't see it, or he didn't smell it. So I think like if you don't have him in that shot, I think it's fine.
While you draw that, going back to your marketing, have you thought about badge ribbons?
No, I don't think we've been in a place that's had badges.
Oh,
Because like Staple, I feel like you just get I don't even know what it is you get
wristband.
when you come in.
It's one of those
You get a
little
wristband.
like disposable tearaway wristbands.
but if it's like 22,000 people
Yeah.
at Val County, then it's probably badges.
Yeah.
And you can have those at the booth
Mm-hmm.
Cool idea.
as a free thing, and then it's also marketing for people that see someone else with that ribbon. I will pick up ribbons like nobody's business if people will give them to me.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go to a con with you. I feel like
I know.
You have just like so much swag.
Con expert.
Not really.
No.
Well, I'm going to Origins Game Fair, and I've been to Gen Con, which is the, in quotes, largest gaming convention of all. And so that vendor room is just insane. Like you need like a good 2 days to go through the entire vendor hall. So it's having something to catch your attention at those bigger cons, because you get lost in the shuffle.
Yep.
Like when I was at Artist Alley at Gen Con, like I didn't know where anyone else was. I didn't know booth numbers because there's just so much going on.
Yeah. That's the one thing. Like I think we're kind of like building up to it, but I can't fully wrap my head around the logistics of traveling with all of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know how I get books to, if say we went to San Diego. I have no idea how I would get books to San Diego.
Ship
Like
them.
no idea. I guess.
You just move there. That's
Probably.
your life now.
Yeah.
Yep. Once I've settled down, then we can go to that show.
Yes.
Now we're doing New York next year. Oh shit!
So you buy a summer home. Problem solved.
There you go.
It's just that easy. Yeah.
Yes.
This might be not like the type of people you want, which sounds not like a good thing to say out loud. I
Keep going.
personally, as
Finish
a
the
shy, awkward person, end up going through cons and like trying to some extent not to make eye contact with artists, because a lot of the time I'm like, I don't actually want to talk to you.
Yep.
I do want to admire what you have,
Yep.
but if I want to meander through without stopping, like I feel weird if somebody's like, hi. I'm like, oh god, hello.
Oh, I say hi to everyone. That's me.
Yeah, that's
See,
that's kind of the approach that we had to take. I feel like at Staple.
Are you a
We try
carnival
to-
barker?
Well,
Is that
you
what it is?
I mean, like you kind of have to,
But to some extent, having some of the advertising of like transactional things might help. And maybe you did last year, but if you have a backdrop, maybe having prices of items very nicely displayed such that it's like, our comics are not very expensive.
Yeah.
Or they, depending on what you charge. But
$600.
So $600 is
issue.
nothing. So
Per
everybody's
page.
getting
Per
a
page.
special.
Per page.
I mean,
But
look
it
at
comes
the
with
work
free
you're
Look at
doing
the time.
to
Look at
it.
the time and
Oh,
effort
you
that's
need to
going
get
into it.
Luchador masks. You need
I
to
mean-
sell those too.
The thing is, this issue will not be done for this.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
We're shooting to have it done for Staple. It won't be done for Bell County.
Got it.
But the thing is that like the idea of none of those people in theory have seen us.
Yeah.
So when we went to Staple the first year, we had the first 2 books.
Yep.
We did pretty well. Last year we only had 1 new book, and we did okay. We covered our costs, but we didn't do as well as we did the year before.
Okay.
And clearly,
People
the
want
people,
the new stuff.
the people wanted the new stuff. They already had the ones that came back already had the first 2.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to like what it's going to look like to an audience that has never seen us before.
You can be very strategic with your pricing of a bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like I think based on that will depend how many books we actually move.
Yeah.
Is what that bundle's priced at.
Yes, because I would prefer to get a bundle of
Yeah.
books
Yeah.
Yeah.
than have to track down
If there's
second and
multiple
third.
issues.
On occasion, we'll see people that will like on a Saturday, especially early in the day, will get the issue 1, and then you may see them again on Sunday to get the other one or the other 2. But I feel like that's rare. Like the people that just want to dip their toe in are only there for the 1. But you have the other guy that came up, didn't even look at it. He was like, "What you got? I'll take both of them." And we were like, "Okay." You get those stickers too. All right, whatever.
Very
I'll take this one and this one. And he like pulls his bags and his boards out of his bag, puts them right in, and I was like, "Cool." I don't know if you'll ever read these.
You never know. It's
But
the
they're
next
collected.
big thing.
I
You
know.
got one of everything.
Yeah, I think he had to sign them too.
Well,
But-
yeah.
Of course.
Do you want to do some signed, some not? And like have a little upcharge?
I think that if you're at the booth, if
Yeah.
the writer and the artist
Yeah.
are at the
Yeah, somebody would
booth,
have to not be there
That's-
to make that more
yeah,
appealing.
Yeah.
because I would ask probably
Yeah.
that you sign.
I think we usually tend to have some already signed, just in case someone's walking around. If someone wants one, they can have it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We have a few people that we met at Staple that have done that show before, and we really need to sync with them about like what to expect because I just really have no clue. But it's like I feel like it's a good step up to where it's like it's bigger, but it's only an hour away, so we can drive there and back in a day, no problem. Don't have to worry about that side of it yet.
Yep.
Logistics yet.
Summer home, Bell County.
So-
There you go.
Nice.
There's a nice RV park right next door to it.
Where this is set, oh my god.
It's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Are there good online I mean, surely somebody's written a blog post about what it's like to show at some of these bigger shows. Like, do those
That
things
is a
exist?
great topic for next time.
Oh,
Because we're running out of time, and I would love to get everyone's opinion on this layout. I think it would be fun is like if we don't have to, we could do a little zigzag, like you said, the cartoony smoke, and like it's the separator itself is like a little
It's a
gym,
little gym,
like doing the ninja run, like
Yes.
the Naruto,
I love that.
and then just sort of end here. Is everyone kind of cool with this panel? And
I am.
Yes.
The lady.
yep.
Heck yeah.
Can she also be wearing like a beard hairnet, even though she's a woman with
She's
no
got it on her
beard?
chin, too.
I'll put a little note in there, and I'll probably not remember at all what I
Like, why does
meant.
that say beard?
Why did I say?
Now we'll just go back to the episode and you'll hear it. Why? You
All
have
right,
a
cool.
reference now. You know where your notes are from.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks again, Anna, Heather. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you.
So,
This was
see you
fun.
next time.